Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Dan.
And it's time once again
to recommend things.
Dan!
Yes, sir.
Good to see you again. What do you recommend today, sir?
Good to see you too. I'm recommending a video game today.
A video game. Ooh.
A video game I just bought, and I'm kind of addicted to it. This is Overwatch. I have it on Xbox One.
Oh, cool! I was going to ask you if you bought that and if it was any good, so now I get to listen to you talk about it. Cool.
Yeah, this game is real good. It's made by Blizzard, the people behind the Warcraft franchise and StarCraft, among other things. This is their first new IP in about a decade, so this was highly anticipated for people, me included. I hadn't been following the development as closely as some people, but I was excited for the game to try it out, and I heard it was really good. I was getting good reviews when it came out. And what this game is it's a combination of a lot of things that I like. It's a combination. It plays sort of like a first-person shooter, but it's an objective team-based game. It's not like you go around and kill people. That's not the objective of the game at all. There's like escort missions where you have to work with a team of people that you get put on a team with, and everyone has different roles. There's 4 different types of characters in the game, and there's 21 characters in total. And there are damage characters, which play like traditional first-person shooter characters. There's support characters that can like plant turrets or do a variety of other things, create shields. There are tank people that absorb damage from damage heroes on the incoming other members of the team, and then there's healers. So it's it's structured sort of like a traditional like RPG team kind of thing, and then the tactics of it, like the tactics are similar to like a genre called a MOBA. I haven't played a ton of them, so I can't go into detail other than to say that in those games you play as a specific hero character that has an assigned class and abilities, and you learn how to play them. And the cool thing about this game with the different characters is they're all unique and different, and each of them is kind of based on a classic archetype from like a movie or a video game. Like there's a Mad Max mutant, there's basically Clint Eastwood's character from the Fistful of Dollars trilogy you can play as. There's a super intelligent gorilla like from the Planet of the Apes. Like there's all these different like cool archetypes from like geek culture that you would want to play as.
Cool.
Yeah, like the character I'm really good with is a character called Soldier. And he basically looks like Cable from X-Men. And he even has like a Cyclops visor thing on.
That is not at all what I pictured when you were describing that. That's really cool.
It's really awesome, and it's got this cool, like, lighthearted Pixar kind of art style that it like kind of fits everything together, like Disney Infinity would with all these characters that come from disparate universes, but it makes them all look uniform. So the art style is really cool. And
I thought the cover looked a little bit anime-esque. Is it inspired by that kind of thing?
Specifically is very anime-inspired, but some of the other ones aren't.
So the whole style isn't necessarily that way.
Yeah, like this character has like the spiky anime here, but a lot of the characters don't look like that. Like the guy that I play as, he's drawn in a similar art style, but he's like a burly soldier kind of guy.
Okay.
Which is cool. And the great thing about the gameplay is there are characters that are harder to master, some of them that are easier to master for beginners and stuff. And if you're not necessarily good at first-person shooters, you can still play an intimate and important role on your team. Like if you want to play this game and you're not all that good at like shooting around, running and gunning and killing people, you can play as a healer and stay in the back and assist your allies. You don't have to have good aim. You can just kind of lay down AoE heals if that's the kind of character you play as. You can be
I mean, that sounds boring, but sure.
I would think it was boring too, but the characters are really dynamic, and the way they play makes healing really fun. You wouldn't think so?
Wow.
Yeah, they find ways and creative ways to make it really fun. Like one of the healers in the game is a guy on ice skates, and you kind of glide around the field, and it's really fast paced, and you have to like shoot your teammates to heal them and stuff. Like
you're half selling me on this game. I might have to. And that's not exclusive to Xbox One, is it?
It's not. It's on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And I found that at least on the console space, I'm sure it's a lot more hardcore on the PC because just the nature of that community. But on the console space, people have been very welcoming, like showing you like where the cool parts on the map are to like set up turrets if you're a support hero. If you're escorting, you're doing an escort mission, and the car like goes under like a bridge. You want to put like a turret up there, for example. The maps are very well designed, and the kind of basic premise of the maps is that They're all exotic locations from around the world, so you can go to like an Egyptian pharaoh's tomb. There's one on like the set of an Old West movie in the United States. There's one on Route 66 in the United States. Like, there's all these like cool locations in the maps. There's lots of them, and Blizzard is infamous for supporting their games for years and years to come, so I'm sure if you buy this game, there'll be expansion packs in the future. They'll be substantial. Blizzard gives you the bang for their buck. Their games are extremely polished. So if you're looking for a new game to play, a multiplayer game specifically, Overwatch, I would highly, highly recommend it. It's really, really good. One of the best games to come out in a very long time, I think. This is a must-play game for this generation, I think. It's very, very good. I like it a lot.
Wow. Excellently described, Dan. Thanks a bunch for talking about that. And wow, that was a really good pitch for that game. It makes me want to play it.
Yeah, it's really great. Anyone who is at all interested in multiplayer games like this, I think you'd really, really enjoy cooperative play.
I gotta tell you, man, I've never done anything cooperative, so I may have to try that at some point. But you have sold me a little bit, like you've turned me around a little bit on the multiplayer experience. It's not a thing that because we talked about this, it's not a thing that I ever used to care that much about, and I was, I was irritated about the lack of campaign on Battlefront, and I still have issues with Battlefront, and I still don't think there's nearly enough on the disc. But, versus and we've talked about this, but versus, the $50 season pass, which I still haven't bought yet, and have found there's not enough to do in that game, but I've been playing it a lot, trying to get good at it, and I've been getting better at it. This will not impress anybody but Dan, but I've been playing Blast a lot, and I got 12 kills one day, and about lost my mind. I got 12. I got 12 kills, Dan. I was like, yeah, my name showed up as like the most of something, which was really exciting to me.
That's awesome. I
think I had the most explosive kills. I was very excited about that. So anyway, I've started getting more interested in trying more things like that because I don't want to spend money to play online and only play Battlefront. I want to get some other things and try other stuff. But also the cheaper and free games that you get on PlayStation are kind of cool. I just started playing this game, and I'm gonna do a recommend on this at some point. I just started playing this game called I Am Bread. Have you heard about this? Have you heard about this game?
About this game, yeah.
This game where you're a piece of bread and you've got to try to get across the room and try to become toast. I've
heard it's really difficult.
It's freaking impossible. Basically, it's Portal if you're toast and you can barely move, and instead of trying to figure out how to get to the goal through different portals, you're trying to figure out how to make yourself into toast. I'm going to do some gameplay on this at some point, because I just think it's absolutely hilarious and madness, and I can't get past the second level, and it's really hard. Today, I'm going to do something that's a lot closer to a You'll So Want This than a recommend, because this is a thing that you won't be able to find unless you happen to meet the guy that drew it, that painted it at a convention. But what I want to talk about more broadly with this is something that I have been finding myself, I've just grown into this, wanting to get more of. I've talked about prints and comic art and displaying it, and my strategies for how I like to display things and where I put them and why I buy what I buy. And I'm going to talk about that again a little bit today. Dan, last year or the year before, I think it was last year, at Planet Comic-Con, I bought this photorealistic image of a still from Batman '89, this Jack Nicholson.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome.
From the scene where he says, "Wait till they get a load of me," and then the scene ends with him going, I'm sure he ad-libbed this, because I don't know how you write it in the script, "Oop, oop." And I just loved that somebody just took that moment and recreated it in somewhat photorealistic art, and that's this wonderful, painted art. And I found another one at Planet Comic-Con this last weekend, and I mean, lots of photorealistic art at conventions, so I'm not saying that this is few and far between by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm starting to like to get more of it, and I think part of it is because I know some of these movies so well that I see an image and the whole scene plays out in my mind again. And when it's something I really love, that's kind of a fun experience, and some of them, kind of mean something to you, and like the exact quote that goes along with it. And some of them are, even though it's photorealistic, they're wonderfully expressive, and it's like the artist's interpretation, because like this doesn't, even though I'm calling it photorealistic, it doesn't look like a photograph. it's he's made decisions in the way he's done his brushstrokes and everything, and so this is another Jack Nicholson moment from Batman '89, and I guess I'm collecting these now. And it's the moment where the Joker gets water on his face and puts his hands over his face, and Vicky Vale is trying to help him, and then he looks up and says "boo," and it's boo. It's that.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's that moment. And this one is in black and white, and this one even more photorealistic than the other one I showed you. It just looks absolutely gorgeous, and I guess I'm collecting these now. I mean, two...
It's not a bad thing to collect. Those are pretty cool.
Two don't make a pattern, and two don't make a collection necessarily. I guess it's a collection. There's two of them. There's more than one. But now I kind of want to... I'm going to have a hard time not buying more photorealistic Jack Nicholson Joker paintings.
I think you're going to have to find a room in your house that you can call the '89 Joker room.
Yeah, but what it makes me almost want to do, because I know a guy, actually a pair of twins, that go to my comic shop that make these incredible neither of them made these, but they make photorealistic pictures from superhero movies and Star Wars and other things that look this good. And I don't have anything right here of theirs to show you, but those guys do stuff from everything, and I bought a couple things from them, but I always want more stuff from them. And I have considered, if I had space, if I had my druthers, and I had, money was no question, well, more space was no question, what I would do, Dan, is not just Jack, although, like I said, it's going to be hard not to try to get a picture from every scene of that movie, see if people have painted that, and I can find everything. But I want a photorealistic painting of Jack spinning around in that room from the overhead perspective after he's cut out Vicky Vale's picture. Like, that would be a really cool
awesome.
one. I just kept thinking, I'd love one from This Town Needs an Enema. Where he shot the glove into the TV and he's got that held up. Like, that'd be really cool.
If you can find an artist that does pretty decent commission prices, you could make that happen.
You commission those, yeah. But I imagine I'll just find them. Like, it's such a popular movie, and it's such an expressive thing to paint. Jack Nicholson's got to be a joy to draw.
Oh yeah,
that face. And so anyway, but it makes me almost want to do the same thing for. I mean, not like collect a bunch of the same character in one movie, but it makes me almost want to do a room in superhero movies painted stills and make a superhero rewind room.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Like,
with what I do, I just think it'd be so cool to have a room that had my superhero movie collection, and then it was like a viewing room, and had those all over the walls. Like I don't have an extra room right now to do that in, but if I did, I would do that. I think that'd be so cool. Yeah, so I guess I'm primarily just recommending that when people go to conventions, they look for these kinds of things, because I think there's some really talented people drawing these photorealistic things that look just like the still from the movie, but it's more fun than having. But it's a lot more artistic than just taking the still and putting it in a frame.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I don't own any of those myself, but I've always been envious of people that own them. I see them at conventions all the time, and they're like, you probably paid a pretty penny for those, didn't you? Like, those usually go for pretty good money, huh?
Not if they're on normal. Well, it depends on how much you think is expensive, I guess. But your standard going rate for prints at cons, no matter what they are, if they're on normal print paper, is $10.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, if it's because it's prints. I mean, if you're buying originals, obviously you're getting into the hundreds and thousands of dollars.
Were probably on canvas then, because the ones I saw were like, upwards of like $100, and were probably originals.
If they were originals, $100, that's a really good price if they're great pictures. A lot of canvas things go for hundreds to thousands of dollars.
Yeah, exactly.
Because what you do as an artist going to conventions is you make one on canvas, and then of course you print it a bunch of times and you sell the prints. I buy prints all the time at conventions at discount deals where you buy like 3 for $20. And if I find an artist I like a lot and I can't make a decision, I'll do that. I'll buy 3 or 5. Whatever the deal deal is, and I've seen that before too, where it's like 3 for $20 or 5 for $30, and if it's somebody that's just magnificent and I can't decide, I'll just buy as many as I can buy at a really good discount. The guys that I was telling you about that have been bringing their stuff to Elite Comics here in Kansas City, had one that I was just watering at the mouth for, and I would have bought it, except I don't know where I would put it, because I don't have a Star Wars room and I don't collect Star Wars. But they had a gorgeous Rey, and I wish I could show it to you. I don't have it. I wanted it so bad, and I keep wanting to collect that character, but once again, I don't know where I would put it. This is neither here nor there. This had nothing to do with anything. I was at Toys R Us today with Jason, and we went down the Star Wars aisle at Toys R Us, because now that Star Wars is back again, both sides all the way down the action figure aisle, and there's some, and when I say action figure aisle, there's a bunch of other stuff that they fill it in with so they can get nothing but Star Wars in one aisle, right? We walk down, and I'm looking at some ships and things, and Jason goes, "Dad, I found Rey." I'm like, "Well, that's not that surprising. We're in the Star Wars aisle, you know." And I turn around, and he hands me, and we're past that point where they're not making Rey things, so we don't have to have that conversation anymore.
Yeah.
And he hands me the goofiest looking stuffed doll of Rey that has a button in her middle that you press, and she says lines from the movie, and she looks like so silly and dopey and cartoony, but of course every line is like the most serious, intense stuff she says in the movie, and it's just hilarious, and I nearly bought it.
You should have.
I should have, just so that I could sit here and do that. I would have recommended that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I might go back for it. Anyway, Dan, anything else you want to say before we bid everybody adieu?
No. Other than if you bought Overwatch and you have an Xbox, leave a comment and I will give you my name and we can play together, because I've been looking for people to kind of run a group with. The beauty of this game is if you have a bunch of people to play with, you can go on, have voice chat, teamwork going. Like it's a cool social experience if you have a bunch of people to play with that you know. So, buy Overwatch. It's very, very good. It's worth your time, your money, and I've gotten much more than $60 worth of enjoyment out of it so far, I think, and I'll be playing it for years to come. So that's
a thing that I hate, Dan, is that you and I are playing it on different systems. Because we would be playing all the time, I bet. And I mean, I've been playing with Steve some, a little bit. I gotta get more games. I'm thinking about getting Doom. Trying to get Steve to get Doom.
Doom is really good. The single player is really good. I haven't tried the multiplayer, so I can't say how it is. But the single player in Doom is perfect. Really, really, really amazing.
I've heard it's a lot of fun. Yeah, I really want that. And again, I'm getting a little bit better at aiming things, so I might actually be okay playing that. Anyway, everybody, thanks always for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again next time. Me and another of our Geekvolution contributors do recommending something for you once again. I am Captain Logan.
And I'm Dan.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for overwatching.